Hello and welcome to some Everquest news for May 2024. So let's get right into this. So today was patch day, so game update notes first. There was a Teek and Tormax FAQ released. I don't know if I did a video on it. I didn't even check, but we'll look at that. And then the swag store got an update. We'll take a look at that too. So let's go in here. Game update notes, May 15th, 2024. Highlights are heroic characters, new heritage crate, new raid challenges, and the game client will now do full screen mode. So let's kind of go into this here. Vestments of the Forsaken may not be claimed till Call of the Forsaken unlocks. That is a we looked it up during the test server patch notes video, but let's do that again. Vestments, yeah, looks like I clicked it there. It's a mercenary item. Alternate advancement abilities, Telosian Guard and Ancestral Memories 3 found on the Lost Legacies Evolving Necklace should now function. That is fantastic. If you claim a bag of items you have no room, the items inside the bag will now correctly be added to the overflow items. That is great. Bash attacks will once again proc off equipped shields or shield augments for classes. Lorien Song weapons that had Stunning Snap will have Stunning Snap 2. Updated zone descriptions for Night of Shadows of the collection item dispenser. And Red Flaming Fist ornament now should work correctly for all one-to-hand weapons. All right. Made a fix for the Sleeper's Tomb Fabled NPCs. 25th anniversary raid challenges will now reward a choice of one augment from the chest. Lord Burgurgle's crown to drop off Aqua Goblins in Lake Wrath. All clerics in the world are happy. That is a fantastic change. Kudos to whoever did that. Fix the issue with Va Zai Aten Ha Ra resetting herself. This was caused by her flinging herself high, leaving her tether area. Increase the height of her tether and added a message that tells you why. Everfrost Peaks, Ear of the Dark Paw. Broken Key of the Frost. You can no longer skip a step. Increased in the total melee damage cap and minimum melee damage thresholds for all ranks of the following spells. Let's just go to summarize this here. Anything that has like a rune on it or mitigates damage for all pure casters and warriors, theoretically making warriors even more tankier. So that sounds fantastic. This is like higher level stuff too, like Warrior's Bastion. I think the first one here, I think this is like at least level 70. This is level 109, so it's way late game, but definitely a nice thing. Bard lowered the proc chance on the Song of Suffering line by a little, increased the proc damage by a lot. Bard increased the spell damage added by Performer's Explosive Aria line of spells, lowered the melee proc chance of Arcane Anthem line of spells a little, and increased the damage by a lot. Significantly increased the damage added by Aria and Fate Song lines of spells. Adjusted all ranks of Chance and Disease, Frost, Poison, and Flame no longer vary in power of the singer. Songs from level 76 to 110 are much more powerful. Songs 11 to 120, 5 or less powerful. All songs from 81 and up have the same instrument modifier. Fixed some typos in the recently changed area effect spells. Related to the Bard thing, someone who plays a Bard as a main actually commented saying that their Bard is always, top DPS in all their groups because of how overpowered some of the stuff is. So this is just kind of adjusting some of that. So if you want more information on that, take a look at the comment on the patch notes for the test server that I did a little while back. I think it was last week. Let's see here. AA increased the total melee damage cap and minimum melee damage threshold for all ranks of the following AAs: Champion's Oath and Reaver's Bargain. So this, in theory, is kind of like the warrior change up here. This should give them a little bit more mitigation when it comes to those. To be seen how much, I don't know. I see Bard updated the Focus AA improved chance to provide a smoother growth rate for damage bonus it provides. New ranks have been added, but the current max bonus of 550 has not been increased. Instead, we half the bonus and the cost assigned to the ranks, spreading the remainder across 10 ranks. You'll be able to purchase immediately with a refund provided by the ranks 46 through 55. Additional ranks 1 through 23 are available at earlier expansions that correspond to their minimum level requirements starting in Underfoot. So, I don't know. This is like way when Lorian Song was starting. Someone had left a comment saying that improved chance didn't get an update. And this is pretty much, this is the update to improved chance. Not a great one, as it does not increase the damage at all. But it is now more points. Necromancer updated the Class A life burn ranks 19 through 22 to support stacking on the same target when cast by multiple Necromancers. Fantastic change. That'll be great. It reduced the base damage and healing per tick at ranks 21 and 22 to 200k, 10k, and 275k, 12k. The level scalar damage component remains unchanged. Paladin fixed an issue with the new activated Class AA Champion's Oath to let its trigger spells Champion's Tithe and Oathbreaker's Penance to be added to the block list. So if you add those to the block list, I think it negates a lot of the downsides. That's kind of funny. Paladin and Shadow Knight updated the Class AA weapon mastery of the Knight ranks 23 to 47 to have a slightly reduced minimum two-handed weapon damage bonus per rank. Sounds like a nerf. Someone maybe can comment on that. I don't really use a two-hander that much on my Paladin unless I'm fighting stuff that doesn't even matter. Shadow Knight updated Class A Mortal Coil 18 through 26 to provide smaller armor class bonus and a flat 2-minute duration. The cost of these ranks has also been increased, which will result in an automatic point refund to anybody that purchased them. And I said increase, that means I meant decrease. So you'll get points back, and maybe it sounds like a nerf, but a flat duration might be better. I think it was a random duration before, based on something. Shadow Knight updated the Class A Soul Abrasions 19 through 28 to provide smaller base life tap damage to Shroud, Horror, and Touch of the Curse spell line abilities while providing larger bonus to the Spite line. NPCs less likely to use terrain to hide from combat. Widened the melee combat arc slightly to allow for your wider swings. Removed 3 enemies that could approach the Plane of Knowledge book in Shadeweaver's Tangle. Corrected an issue that prevented zoning into a zone with too many people in it. Added more details to the message received when you're unable to loot an item. Added the option to add a player to your friend or ignore list by clicking their name in the chat window. Fantastic. Now add report. All right. It does not pop a petition website link. That's dumb. It should be all in game. I shouldn't have to open up a web browser to report somebody for breaking the rules or other things. Corrected an issue with some items not being placed into the correct slot when loading a saved persona equipment set. The output from net stats now goes to the same chat filter. Corrected an issue that caused certain illusions to place you under the whirlwind zoning. I have an issue where my character is on his side when zoning until I move. It's weird. corrected an issue that caused the global marketplace to discount to override an item's higher discount. Fixed DirectX 11 crash on Windows 7 and Windows 8. The following server transfers have been updated. Rizlona can transfer to Mangler and Aradun. Vaniki can transfer to Mangler. Jelinek can transfer to Mangler, Rizona, Aradun, Mischief, Thornblade. Oakwind can transfer to Mangler, Rizona, Aradun, Mischief, Thornblade, Jelinek. And Agnar can now transfer to Mischief and Thornblade. Increase the NPC buff limit to 320 buffs and debuffs. That is crazy. Fix the kaleidoscope rendering artifacts. UI made a speculative fix for UI crash related to the new name reservation window. Overseer experience now displays correct values after changing personas. Clicking the disable reminder button in the name reservation window will no longer cause the button to disappear. The game client once again is able to launch in full screen mode, switching between desktop and Windows should be smoother. That should be great. I honestly use IS Boxer to do that on the client when I'm playing one character, just because it manages the window better. See, changed EQ UI, create XML, EQ UI, inventory XML. Sorry, my dog is barking nonstop. Corrected a issue where certain race class combinations could be created before the appropriate expansion launched. Barren Coast, Tempest Festival, Lessons of Madness. The area 3rd and 4th steps cleansing the pearl has been increased. Barren Coast, Temple Festival, Lessons of Madness. The final fight has been changed to Killing 1, and how the pearl is changed from corrupted to cleansed. It should no longer remove everyone in the group's pearl. Corrected an issue where clause evasion raids were not awarding alternate currency. Alright, that is all the patch notes for today. Pretty interesting patch. Heroic characters, expect videos at some point. I'll do all the classes. I think there's 16, just like I did for the hundreds. And I'm also going to go back and do the 85s just for giggles. But let's take here. So there's an FAQ on the Tormax and Teek. I don't think anybody cares about Tormax, so let's take a look at Teek here. Standard time lock progression unlocks every 8 to 12 weeks, right? Progression is the same as normal TLP. Focus effects, Lucklin. Random loot. This server randomizes loot. Rare NPCs will drop a pool of loot. Let me see if I can. So I'll link this. I linked it in Discord, but this is a spreadsheet put together by Bobby Beck, http twitch.tv Bobby Beck. That's his thing. This was linked off the linked off the main website forums. So but here's some useful information here about, you know, how it was on Mischief and how it could possibly be on Teek, assuming the same loot tables and stuff like that. But the concept of random loot is this. So each mob named is in a bucket. So let's go to a bucket that's fun, right? What's a fun bucket? I know which one I'm looking for. I just don't see it. I think it's this one. Yeah, okay. So bucket 7. If you kill any of these mobs in bucket 7 here, they have a chance to drop any of this loot. Along with, I believe they do drop something of their own loot table. So it's like this plus that, right? You'll notice here the Ancient Cyclops is in bucket 7, so you can get J Boots by killing the Kobold Priest, the Yun Priest, the Kobold Noble, right? So these are, it makes it easier to get the loot, right? Because you don't have to go camp the Cavalier to get the Adamant Epaulets. You can kill the Minotaur Hero, right? So there's some cool things like that that are options. But this extends to raid mobs, right? So Nagafen, Vox, Enruk, and Kazakh Thul are all in the same loot pool. So if I go kill Nagafen, I have a chance to get, Cloak of Flames, a Bloodfire, any of this stuff. So it's very crazy when it comes to some of these things. And we're going to be starting in Kunark. Now, this is the one thing I don't know. Maybe someone can post a comment down below how this would work. So here's Bucket 8. Does Bucket 8 in Kunark include Bucket 8 from Classic, right? Do they add upon each other? I don't know. Maybe the FAQ here says something about that. See here. Rare NPCs will drop loot from a pool of NPCs similar level within the same expansion. All right, so that makes more sense there. So if I'm in Kunark, I can only get these Kunark unique drops, right? So you can kind of see here, like, Bucket 8 sucks. Like, I don't see anything here that's... Well, I guess the Ixar ceremonial breastplate is okay since it's got regen on it, but let's find something that's a little bit more interesting here. Oh, look, Bucket 9. Bucket 9 is a fantastic bucket. Let's look at this, right? So you see all these names here. Gorgle, Packlock, he spawns a damn lot, right? Like, some of these spawn a lot, and they're all in the same bucket. Can you imagine getting Howling Stone's loot from the Froglock Ossistery? Like, this is some crazy stuff. Now, granted, a lot of these are in Dragon's Teeth, which is the most terrible zone in the game, but I mean, you got some options there. And if we go up to, like, Bucket 10 here, let's see here. Hierophant's Cloak is in Bucket 10, so you kind of see here you're getting a lot of these other options. So this kind of makes it so you don't have to go and camp, certain things, right? I don't have to camp the chef to get the Myra-Locar's bracer, right? I don't have to camp the chef to get that. I can camp any of these other ones and I have a chance to get it. So it's pretty cool. And if we go up here, like one of my favorite camps in the game, the Overseer Underboss, right? Number 11. You can see here, a lot of it is Chardock loot, right? But fungus-covered tunic, and then that's trash. That's all trash. And pretty much all the Chardock loot can drop off any mob. Is like what I'm seeing here, right? Now, like, we should see if there's anything here outside of Chardock. The Undertaker Lord. Yeah, the Undertaker Lord in Kunark does not drop the necklace, but once it gets to Luckland, it will drop the necklace unless it's already just set up to go that way. But definitely a thing, right? And if you look at the raids, all the raid mobs are in the same bucket. So it looks like you can kill Venreal Sathir and get VP loot, right? For pretty much anything there. And then it looks like there's a bucket too here for the other stuff. Ragefire can drop King loot. So you can get epic things from Ragefire. You can get epic things from the rogue. These are all the rogue epic mobs that are right outside there. The cleric epic guy. That is fantastic, honestly. Yeah, but like, it looks like all the raid mobs are in the same era, right? So I mean, the same bucket. So it looks like, I mean, you could literally skip the VP key theoretically. I mean, obviously you would be giving up, some extra loot there, but stuff like that. And then it goes into, Velius here, same kind of thing. These is a little bit differently formatted, doesn't have the same bucket thing, but if we look at this was a raid expansion, really, so it's hard to say. Like, these ones all look like they're in the same bucket, so you could kind of share things there. And this is a free trade server, so, like, which is really cool, right? So you'll be able to just straight up buy any of the raid items. One thing I made a character on Mischief, And I was able to buy 2 Scepters of Destruction for almost nothing because they randomly drop off everything even after the sleeper's been woken, and which is kind of cool, right? Like once the sleeper goes woke, right, it's gone. The good loot's gone. But in the free trade stuff, it is not. So it's kind of cool. So there's, this is like, you could go in this forever and ever and ever. And it seems that billions of powers when this guy stopped updating it. So there is a lot of options here, and it's a quality of life thing that makes things nice. So that's how the randomized loot works. So it says, yeah, the pool includes themselves. Raid will drop from other raid NPCs the same level. And rare NPCs have a greater chance of spawning. So it's like, you always have that rare NPC bonus at all times. And then free trade, so that means there's no trade items, right? You can just trade whatever you want, which makes things a lot easier to really enjoy the game at this lower level, because you have, people that kind of, they farm a lot of stuff and they try to make money in Chrono, right? But being able to trade some of the stuff will make things easier, because the guilds who aren't trying to make Chrono to sell to actual for real money and stuff like that, they will be selling this stuff in the East Commons and stuff like that, so you can actually buy things. And since they're not no trade, the market will be saturated with these items, because everything's can be spawned inside of an agent of change instance. So I would expect to see all this loot for sale fairly quickly. And then once the Lucklin launches, you'll see everything on the bazaar. And if the prices are like how it was in Mischief, I don't know what level, what expansion it was at in Mischief when I went and bought a full bunch of stuff. But it's usually fairly cheap. I think I spent like 2 chrono and I bought everything I needed to make all my twin characters that I wanted to on Verona Vice. So definitely something interesting there. Let's see here. And so free trade. So it'll launch in Kunark, which is great. 12 weeks of Kunark, and then we are in Velius, 8 weeks of that, and then we're in Lucklin, and so on and so on and so on. TrueBox, one client per computer. 1 Omens of War unlocks. Relax TrueBox, so you can have 3 at the same time, and then Buried at Sea doesn't unlock, so that is pretty cool. Might be a fun server. I've gotten a lot of questions asking if I'm going to play on it, and I'm definitely going to make a character. I don't know how far I'm going to go with it at this time, but this is the rule set I've always wanted, and I think I'd feel dumb if I didn't at least try it out and have some fun with it. In other news, the swag store has been updated. If we open it up here. Now, I think when I first opened this the swag store up in a few news episodes ago, I was like, these are lame. Like, I don't know if I actually said that, but they were kind of basic stuff. Now they have more things, like the Ixar Empire t-shirt. That's pretty cool. There's some other things here that are nice. The Year of the Dark Paw, stuff like that. Some magnets. I might buy a magnet here. But you Ring of Scale hoodie and stuff like that. They're actually starting to monetize the stuff. Like, I like this one here. Visit Kunark. It's it's just really neat, It's just very very cool little shirt and stuff like that. But definitely you can get all kinds of crazy things. I guess there's a vault here. But I don't know. I'm not paid. I'm not monetized by them or not. I want the game to be successful. So hopefully, that helps them in some way. But there we go. That's the news for mid-May, along with the patch notes. Thank you very much for watching. Please have a fantastic day.